Hey, my royal family, how we doing today? I hope everything is going good for you, kings and queens. Come up in this living room so we can chop it up. Today's scripture we will be reading is 2 Corinthians 2 and 11 out the King James Version. And it reads, "For we are not ignorant of his devices." Ain't that the truth, Jesus? Oh my goodness. So baby, yeah, let's have this conversation because I don't understand what the problem is, but I need to explain to you the high price of having a low character. And I talk about character all the time because, damn, if you ain't got no good character, then you ain't got nothing. But the high price of having low character is straight off the gate, you cannot be trusted. All right. And it's like, dang, if can't nobody trust you, you might as well just go ahead and just fall off the earth, because that's a big one right there. It's like people have actually walked away from relationships because they couldn't trust people. People have stopped talking because they couldn't trust people. People have actually, just totally just been physically disgusted with a person because you couldn't trust them. And so it's like, that's a high price, to pay if somebody can't even trust you. But there's so much betrayal out here. There's so much jealousy, so much witchcraft, so much envy, so much greed, and so many people switching up on you and scheming on you. And it's like, man, once you are exposed, it's over for you. It's over. It's like, especially if a whole bunch of people know that you are not trustworthy and that you just trash out here. It's like, you have literally messed up your whole entire name, and for what? And it's like, everybody got their motives for whatever the case may be, but you a different level of grind if you can't be trusted. All right. It's like, nobody wants to be around you. Everybody know that you're a liar. Everybody know that you not about nothing. It's like, a lot of people wouldn't even want to be associated with you, which is horrible. And it's like, to lack character, you pay for it in your peace alone, because as soon as somebody see you coming, they automatically got the unrest around you, and they fidgety, and they irritated, and it's like, you can't even sit next to somebody when you ain't trustworthy, that's of integrity, because they not fooling with you like that. So you just sitting there looking lonely and stuck, and for what? And it's like, you got to think about, do I want to actually be known for my trash character, being untrustworthy, being a liar, being a cheater, just scheming on people, switching up on people, just being greedy, prideful, and, just always doing stuff that people don't like? And do you want to be known for that for the rest of your life? Do you think that that is the price that you want to pay for something so foolish and stupid? Because 9 times out of 10, if you done something that was that bad, where you assassinated your own character, 9 times out of 10, it wasn't worth it. And it's like, where do you get that from? Where does this stem from? Now, I wouldn't be able to actually speak on that because I have high character. But it's like, you got to wonder, when you see a person that is not trustworthy and has low character, you got to wonder, where exactly did that stem from? This can't be something that you were born with. This has to be something that was created, don't you think? And so if you're choosing to be in that energy where you are untrustworthy, where you are basically walking grime, if you will, it's like if you choose to be that, then you're a disgusting human being. And the crazy thing about it is, as I'm saying this, it's like a whole bunch of people that's like that. So that's why you got to go back from the beginning. Like, where did this come from? Well, one thing I know for sure is it comes from the fact that you don't have no self-respect. Grimy people don't have no self-respect. And on a higher perspective of thinking, if a person don't have no self-respect, you can bet your bottom dollar that they ain't gonna never have no respect for you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. And it's like, at that point, do you just live a life of betrayal? Do you live a life of, creating, people that look at you crazy because they can't trust you? Do you turn to a life of crime because, don't nobody want to be associated with you, and you lack integrity, morals, and values? Do you have to try to survive out of the mistakes that you made to get yourself to that point? Like, what does that need to look like for you at that point? And so, kings and queens, I challenge you to think about, if you want to be the type of person to pay that high price of having low character. Me on the outside looking in, I just don't feel like it's worth it. I don't feel like it's worth, having broken relationships, because you never know when you're going to need somebody. Or actually, creating that type of name for myself where it's just trash. It's like people see you coming and they're like, nope. Or they kind of like hide their stuff from you, or they don't even tell you about events going on because they don't want you to be there. They tell you about it after the fact, and you asking dumb questions like, why didn't you tell me about it? Why didn't you let me know that was going to happen? Well, I could tell you the answer to that is because they didn't want you around, because your character is low. Your embarrassment. Don't nobody want to be associated with you in any form. And you got to really think about that. You got to think about, damn, is that my legacy? Is that something that I want to represent? And so, kings and queens, before you get to that point, I want you to think about, your name. Think about what you're going to represent here on this earth. Think about if it's worth, you being called a thief, or you being called an untrustworthy person, or you being actually shunned from everybody just because you grimy as fuck and you don't have no type of, integrity or honor about yourself, or you're not noble in any type of way. You got to actually think about that. And no, we're not worried about what people think about us. Don't get it twisted. No, we're not worried about that. But at the end of the day, you should want for yourself to actually be walking in honor and be trustworthy, and people look up to you because you got good character. You should want that for yourself before anybody has any type of position in your life to even speak on your name or speak about you. You should want that for yourself. And that's what's real. Because that means that at some point you got God in you for sure. So that's what I have for you today. I'll talk to you soon.